Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they played as karmic themes, help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, right? A lot of times we know that the person has feelings. We don't know why they do what they do. We don't know why we're connected to someone that keeps us stuck in ruminating, keeps us stuck a lot of times to negative energy. And the reason why is because our relationships are spiritual. It's the way that the universe, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, uh, helps you evolve into the highest state of consciousness, right? That's why. It's that the highest state of consciousness is unconditional love and all emotions that are derived from unconditional love. So when we're in a place of frustration, anger, sadness, we're really in an energy of fear because there's only two energies, love and fear. So the energy of sadness is more in alignment with that fear. So we can attract someone that's really an angry, bitter person if we're just a sad and lonely person. Right? So, and the lesson there would be, is it more important to be by yourself and work on yourself, or is it more important to be around just anybody? A lot of times if you're with somebody that's one-sided and just like a bitter person, then, it's better to be obviously by yourself. But there are some people that are so needy that will continue to try to make a relationship that really has ended a long time ago. It doesn't work. Well, they'll continue to try to make it work. And then the damage that's caused to that person that tried to make it work is a lot more than the actual person that was abusive. So the person that actually is going through the trauma from a negative person is going to be a lot harsher than the person that actually did all the betraying, did all the hurting, that just was a toxic person. All right. I don't know why I say what I say, but we're going to see why I said that because maybe you felt like you were connected to someone that got away and they're not affected by what they did. You know, maybe you feel that way, or that you feel like you're still paying, like I said, for the consequences, that with that trauma that person um created was because they messed up, an opportunity or a foundation of your life, or took a lot of money or did something, to also make you feel that way. Usually it's a loss of an opportunity, or, has ruined something or damaged something. Again, karmic people don't very rarely just come in and, leave a relationship where they cheat. There's usually a slew of other things that's connected to these karmics, and we want to recognize the signs of that type of toxic person before they're actually able to come into our lives and really take, something that we feel that we've created, that we built before we were even in the relationship. See, these codependent relationships are the toxic relationships. Those are the relationships that you're going to see a lot of trauma. You're going to see a lot of spiritual blockages, which are considered samskaras, which are a combination between astral energy and emotional energy. Held in the body as stress, it's what becomes our energy vibration. So they say you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. Well, again, the universe brings you what you need. So if you're someone that is a toxic, avoidant person, well, then the universe is going to keep bringing people that are anxious, like that have abandonment issues to you. Why? Because balance, learning what balance is, not just for that person that has the attachment issues where they want to run all the time and avoid, But for the person that can't feels like they can't have a good attachment with someone, they always wind up with people that are emotionally not there for them, that they're avoidant of problems and don't really want to work on the relationship. They want to stay in this lower energy. So it replays out as a karmic theme, and the karmic theme, it could be I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, whatever that karmic theme is that continues to play out within your life because you keep dating the same types of people, the same type of scenarios happen. So we want to know why. So let's look at the underlining energy first. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box, including, don't forget about Otter Spirit. They're my favorite bracelets. I'm actually not wearing any right now. Maybe we'll put them on before I get started. We'll put these on, but I actually love my everybody knows which one I like. I like this batch best. And that's because of the watermelon and the black and white dragon agate. I mean, and obviously, who doesn't like amethyst? I mean, who doesn't love amethyst and dragon? So we'll wear all of them. What the hell? All right. Again, if you buy $90 worth of merchandise, you get 30% off. You get 15% off of anything under. Again, my shadow healing coaching program. For those I see that, we have whole three people. I did a coaching consultation today where I just referred the person to my shadow healing coaching program because they just really need to recondition their nervous system. People that have gone through trauma, they have to recondition. It's not a one and done. It's like we create a habit when you live in a certain environment. It's like we form habits and behaviorisms, and the habit of not breathing properly, of always wondering what might happen, what could happen, of not being present, not being here in the moment, right? That's a problem because only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition, inner knowing. So many people, again, aren't even tapped in to how they feel or what they intuitively think. They just see things from a logical, analytical perspective, and that's more of a survival mode. We have to have a balance in life, right? In order for us to really be able to go with the flow of life, we have to have balance in our life. So again, $7.99. You can't beat it. Inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma. And guess what? You're done with my oracle cards. How fun is that in a group? I mean, you know, that's the thing. Shadow healing helps you stay spiritually clean. That's what it does. All right. Now I'm serious. Let's look at the underlining energy. And that's always on the first and second card that I pull out is the underlining energy. This tells everybody why everything's happening the way that it is, why that person is doing what they're doing, why you're attracting that person into your life, what is the that energy. So the underlining energy is unstructured. One more. I'm feeling a few things already. Let's see. Sorrow and sadness. Well, I feel like when you were dealing with somebody, they didn't want a commitment. They wanted to be able to come and go. There's someone that, when it comes to business, they're very structured. But when their personal relationships, no, they have intimacy issues. They don't like to go deep and they never know what they are going to want to do until that kind of day comes. So this person changes. Some days it can be really sweet and nice. Other days they're going to be a little bit standoffish. It's going to create a lot of confusion. Now what I see is because there was no structure. This person wanted to continue to come in and out of your life, no rhyme, no reason. Sometimes it would be a week, sometimes it was a few days, sometimes it would be a month. You never knew. But they didn't want to form a strong, intimate connection. And when I'm talking about intimacy, I'm talking about trust, where you can know that the person's showing up for you. So the person says, hey, I'm going to get here on Tuesday, and they show up on Tuesday, and you go out to lunch, and there's some sort of consistency. Maybe it's not all the time lunch, and maybe it's not all the time Tuesday, but it's the fact that the consistency, this person didn't want to do that. And so now they're in a place of sadness. That's the underlying energy. I feel like this person's a little bit like in a victim state consciousness, almost like, you know, they don't understand. They would want to downplay. Like, well, I don't understand why you're not talking to me. Everything was fine. It's like when meanwhile nothing was fine because you didn't like the way that the relationship was. I say that because, well, again, I feel like this person knew that you were going through a lot and drowning like emotionally. And so maybe you lost a person, maybe you lost a job, there was some sort of change. And they also know that you're an emotional person. And there's a part of them that also liked it when you got that way. Because then they thought, well, oh, you're going to really be dependent on me. And the thing is, they thought that you were going to ask. They thought that you were going to ask. Again, like I said, I feel like there was a time that you went through a situation where either you lost something, something that was important to you. Could have been a person, it could have been like a change of a job. There was some sort of death. And we know death could be anything. It could be death of a friendship, it could be a death of, or a real physical death. But it was something that you went through and this person was not there for you. They knew that you were grieving, they knew that you would be emotional, and it was almost like they wanted you to ask for the help. And that's what they would say, well, you didn't ask, like they were always kind of distant. Like you felt like, yeah, if you ask me, I'll be there, but who wants to have to ask? The fact that the person wasn't intuitively tapped in to like what your needs were, even if they were, they're like, I'm not going to do that. I know what you want, but I'm not going to do that because that would create intimacy. That would create consistency. And I don't really want to do that. I'm always going to be distant. I'm always going to make it feel like I have one foot in, one foot out. Again, I'm here, but I'm not here. It's like there's a distance where I'm keeping secrets. And that's really what it is. It's like, are you dating somebody else? What's going on? It's like you didn't really know. They made the relationship too hard for no apparent reason, and you got tired of it. You were like, things just became too difficult, and it created a lot of space. And they weren't building an emotional connection, to make you feel safe in the relationship. Like I said, feeling like, one foot was in, one foot was out. This person was always trying to get over, you know, um, and then now they're acting like the victim. And when you would say something, they would act like the victim. They wouldn't take responsibility. Instead, they would withdraw, like how a child does when they're bad, And now the thing is that this person's angry. So they're going through a slew of different emotions because what you see here is you disconnected. You're like, okay, you're not going to come to me as your victim. You did whatever you decided to do. You didn't want to give me the time. The whole time you had nothing but opportunity to create that emotional intimacy, especially if there was a death or you went through anything. Like I said, there was an opportunity for this person to be there for you. And instead, they just weren't there. They saw you as being excessive, like, oh, you just won't let go. You're overstating a situation where really, no, this person's like excessive way of not never being there. Like they thought that, you were overstating a situation too much. And that was taking making you not grounded anymore, like that the problem wasn't really them, when really they weren't seeing that they did anything wrong. Why don't you do anything wrong? But you're like, if you were built that emotional connection with me, you would clearly know that there was something wrong. And so instead you made the relationship too difficult because you see this person sees you as trying to communicate as confronting, as being very confrontational. when really you're not being confrontational, you're trying to set boundaries about how you want to be treated. And then this person wants to like twist it and make it like, oh, what do you want me to be, your savior? What do you want me to be, the fixer? Where it's like, no, this person was deliberately trying to like make you feel as if you didn't really, like you didn't belong, right? And really create like attachment, but their self-righteous behavior is what happens. It's like it became a power struggle, an unnecessary power struggle. Like this person knew that they should have been there for you. It was an opportunity to like create intimacy, create growth. They didn't want to do that the whole step of the way. Wrong deck. That's my end deck. Um, and that's the thing. They would wanted you to have just like a shallow relationship. It's like, oh, well, we had a very strong connection, wanted you to fall head over heels for them. But when it came to them really showing up in times that it was important, they never did. So they kind of showed their true colors, knowing that that would consume you because, again, you emotionally showing up for them and giving 100%, and then seeing that this person did never gave really 100%. Now it's like this person is like, starting to see. And I feel like, but the problem is, it's like you also see the way that you were thinking. Well, like, hello, I'm the person that's allowing this. I'm the one that's like, I'm not happy in this connection. I see that you don't want to go deep. You want think that I'm going to fall head over heels for you and you're going to get me all wrapped up in my emotions and then when it comes time for it, you're not going to act on those emotions, like real narcissistic behavior, kind of so that this person can manipulate and control. And that's why they're sad and acting like the victim because what they're seeing is, hey, TikTok time has run out. It's like they were sitting in clouded vision. There was a part of this person because he was silent. They thought, well, like, oh, look, maybe you're hurt. Oh, you'll get over it. Well, yeah, and everything will go back to the way that it was, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to do anything. And now what this person is like all but hurt because they didn't create the strong roots with you and they knew the whole time that that's what you were saying. You're saying you're not building the intimacy, you're not building trust. And in that, there's no strong foundation, like there's no growth. We will never grow. And so there's no hope for the connection because you don't allow the love to really bloom. Instead, you have nothing but like prickly defenses. Like, you're always protecting yourself. You have too many barriers, like from things that have happened in your past and you're tired of paying for them and you're like every time you want to establish and communicate your own boundaries, well, this person acts like, oh, you're trying to like entrap them, you're trying to like control them, you're trying to, no, that's their issue. They're, again, the avoidant. You would have, again, the abandonment issues, again, from childhood. And so reliving this dynamic where it's all about not being able to trust this person, like where you had to read between the lines. It's like you're not going to be transparent. No, because one foot's in, one foot's out. They can't go that deep. They like a shallow relationship. So when you said, hey, like you would notice that that's all that it was, this person, instead of talking through it or even letting you have your boundaries and then go their separate ways, because them saying, well, that's not what I want, instead they would punish you. They would withdraw and then act like the victim and act childish. It's like, so they made the relationship difficult where like you finally like let go of them. So it's not uncommon that this person would be like all hurt now, like, oh, I can't believe that you did this to poor me, poor me, poor me, where really they created it themselves. So we have to say they're going to do anything, not that you would want to take this person back, but like we always want to know. Well, they are going to like talk to you. They are going to finally say something to you eventually, going to communicate. You can expect some sort of communication, and they're gonna like, they're annoyed that they have to do it. It's again, that's really what it is. It's like this person knows, but there's also they're not in a good place. So it's almost like they're annoyed that they have to do it, but there's something else happening in this person's life that I feel like now they need you, because now they're not in a good, like, well. And so part of them is like they do still have feelings for you. It's not like they don't, but it's all about them elevating their mood, them helping themselves. They're not coming back for to because of what they did. Understand that. They're going to communicate to you because you're not communicating to them. They're annoyed that they have to do it, but I see it's like they want to do it because of where they are, that there's something going on in their life. And it is because like they're going through like a dark night of the soul. They're going through an awakening right now. So it's like they're seeing things from the bigger picture. This is what it's saying. So we can say what's making them, and it says unconditional love. Like there is like this common thing, even though this person didn't want to go deep. And when it's going to happen soon. Spirit's saying it's like you're going to see this person soon, whether you want to or not. And so, you know, this person's going to come into your life. It's like, and they're whether you want them to or not. And it's like, it's almost like it's going to be all up to you. It's going to be all up to you, but I feel like they're not in a good place. Let's see what's going on in their life. Let's like just see what's going on because it's like what is happening? Well, I feel like it's been going on for a long time. So you might have been in separation, like I said, from this person for a long time. And now all of a sudden they're coming back because like might have gone through a divorce or again, there was some sort of transition in their life and it was a long time ago. And yeah, and it was a breakup. It was a breakup. So this person was in a relationship with somebody else, and it, and they left, and they then went into like a healing thing for themselves. And I feel like this person thought that they were gonna come back sooner, but it's again, they're coming back, like I would say by the springtime. So that might not seem that close, but between now and the spring, so between 1 and 3 months, you're gonna see this person, and because they were healing themselves, and the other part was because they were stubborn, they didn't want to come back, and they also wanted to become stable with inside of themselves, is what I'm seeing here. But they were stubborn. It's not like they weren't, but they are normally a very dependable person, someone that's financially stable, and they didn't want to come back not financially stable. And it's because they have unconditional love. They're not happy about having to be that person that comes back. And so, okay, we see sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone. So, and that doesn't mean that you need to take this person back. Like we can even see, like, well, they acted very childish when they were with you. They didn't want it deep, and that could have been because they weren't fully finished out of that connection, but they weren't maybe not as transparent. I feel like this person was embarrassed because someone put them in that place of like disempowerment. So there's someone that's in full control. So it was just easier for them to stay in their old habits of like keeping everything surface, like being a party boy, party girl. And because again, and they went through that betrayal. So it's like this person was again traumatized from what happened. And so that's again confirmation. And they just didn't want to come back until they were fully financially lucrative and different. Um, So, like I said, now it's a collective reading. We're gonna pull to see. Some of you people will take this person back. Some of you guys won't take this person back. You have free will. Some of you might not even know what you want to do, it's too painful for you to see. Like it's like almost like I feel like there's still a lot of feelings and you don't really want to see this person. There's a part of you, but you still think about this person a lot, you know. So let's see. It's like you have to, it's like there's a part of you that, as far as right now, like you have feelings for this person, you miss this person, but it's too painful. Like you don't really want to see this person and you don't really trust this person as of right now. So if they were to come back right now, you'd be like, no, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't care. Like whether or not you want that, you want to come back in. It's like there's a part of you that just felt like, that there was someone better. Like that you feel like there might be someone better for yourself. You know what I mean? And until like, so I don't really feel like you're going to take this person back when they come back. I feel like, they're going to come back between 1 and 3 months, and you're going to be like, you did all that because now, okay, you're fine. You're in a place, but you didn't come and check on me not once. You didn't fix this. You didn't do anything to it, and there's a part of you that's like, I don't know whether I want to take you back. I think that there may be someone better, and I don't really feel like I can trust you. It's like you did all that and you don't think that there was anything wrong with what you did. You wanted to be a baby, you wanted to be a child, you wanted to toy with me. It's like, and knowing the whole time, all because of your situation. Now all of a sudden you're ready, but you did all that. So there's part of you that's like, well, you know what? Now I want to date. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to date. Now I'm going to see whether the grass is greener. And we're meant to be together. Then guess what? You're going to deal with it. You're going to watch me date and you're going to, like, again, be whatever. But as far as right now, you're like, I'm leaning towards more like, I don't, yeah, I have feelings for you, but I don't trust you. And that overrides everything, and also the pain that I feel like this person created where they don't want to really look and see, they want to downplay because it's not like they weren't in your life. They just came in and gave you little breadcrumbs, acting like that was something, not being consistent, not being there for you during a difficult time, whatever that difficult time was. It was like, again, where that's where you realize this person doesn't know anything about me. So there's an illusion that they think that they know you where you're like, you don't know anything about me. Because if you knew me, you wouldn't have done that. So this person, like, again, is not going to have an easy time. I feel like you're going to, like, really have your guard up and they're really going to have to work hard to be in your life. And we look at 6 cards to look and see why did you attract this person into your life. We look at the inner child wound cards because we're mirrors of whom what comes into our life, and we attract these experiences because when we go through an experience when we're a kid, like emotionally, we don't really remember everything, right? We don't like that's not what happens is that we detach, we disassociate, but that energy is still very much there. It's what makes us a magnet for people and situations that actually vibrate with that same frequency. So again, until we integrate the spiritual lesson, which just means seeing how we contribute to the imbalances. And maybe when you were a kid, you couldn't react, right? Because you were a kid, and if you reacted, you would have gotten like hit by your parent or punished. So you learned to like not say anything. Well, that same habit or behaviorism of not saying something comes into your future life. like, and the future life is, again, we live many lifetimes within one lifetime. And so you bring that, you know, karmic experience into your next like lifetime, and as which is what makes you a person really feel as if, oh wait a minute, I really can't have, or this is what makes me feel that there's something wrong with me, or this is what makes me feel like I don't like myself, or that perception where that's out of alignment with the laws of the universe, again, because God says you need to love yourself because I'm inside of you, and you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you love me. It's like that's why you have to love yourself first, because you have to love me first. Because God says I'm a jealous God, and that's by honoring yourself, making sure that you again are balanced. Otherwise, like, if we don't, what happens is that we grow up in environments, right, where we we take on what happens in that. So I feel like here in your childhood, there was abuse, and it was psychological, and it was possibly even physical. And so you know that there was emotional abuse too, psychological, emotional, and physical abuse, where again, like you, anytime you had to heal, like you did it by yourself, like you were in by yourself a lot of the time because that parent was always angry. They were just always like a bitter person, and that just kept you very overwhelmed, and you became very, very, very sensitive. And as a result, you felt very misunderstood because sensitive people are always tapping into other people, and then they're trying to, figure out why that person's acting the way that they are. And then they're, judging themselves a lot of times by how that person is treating them. When meanwhile, what we see here is that whoever was raising you, whoever was in that environment, was so angry all the time. They, again, to the point that they would psychologically and emotionally abuse a child to belittle them, to make them not feel safe, but also to physically abuse them. So this child has, and that could be like you got smacked a lot, you got your hair pulled, you got, I mean, back in the day, our parents did all kinds of crazy shit, I mean, but that's that abuse where you were oppressed, where you were made to like, feel as if you were not worthy, not good enough. Again, like when a person has their foot on another person's head, it's like, and that parent's arm is on them, like almost like it's okay, like supporting that child, where it's like spirit says, yeah, that's like, like it's okay. That's traumatizing for the person that's on the ground too, that's being suppressed. It's like other people know what's happening and nothing is happening to stop it. So it's again, it will solidify, making a person not really feel safe, feel like they have to go into isolation, again, feel misunderstood, feel like they're not liked, you know, you said, feel like they have to go into isolation to heal because they're so overwhelmed because of all of their emotions of not just of what's happening, but why no one's doing anything. Why, like, there could have been someone in the environment or someone that sees this mistreatment of the psychological and emotional abuse of a rageful parent, but no one got involved. So again, growing up in that type of environment, it's like you become so overly sensitive that what happens is it's more important to make sure that that parent's, emotions are more in check with, that you're not going to trigger them through something that you do that you wind up suppressing who you are. You don't become you don't become your true self because there's fragmentation, because you were forced to live in an environment that made you, suppress yourself, that made you, like not feel safe. Because that's what happens when you're in an environment with a parent that's rageful all the time, that oppresses you because of their anger. And so Spirit says we have to alchemize the energy in order to stop the karmic looping. It doesn't mean that you're not going to still not attract the same type of person that has the same type of imbalance. The difference is you're going to handle it much differently. And so when you handle it differently, you obviously get a different result. So transmutation is also meaning embodying the new consciousness to be able to get a different reality. Otherwise, the same thing kind of plays out, and that's really what it is. So we look and we see again, beyond the illusion, uncharted waters, brighter horizons, sacred space, fearless hearts, and transformation. These are the cards that I pulled. And so Spirit says yes. So again, when you're brought up by a parent that belittles you, they're making you feel like there's something wrong with you. When you are forced to like be small because you are being oppressed, well, you begin to like have your habits and your behaviorisms are in alignment with that, and that's more in alignment with this fear energy. So, you're not going to get good results either. But so it's turning that fear into fire. And so you had to see beyond the illusion. And in order to see beyond the illusion, you had to go back into another relationship where somebody, tried to oppress you, tried to like, hold you back. This person, like, they didn't think about you. And so it's again, it's that same energy of being ignored, being belittled, being oppressed, having to shrink yourself. So, and that's where Spirit says, obviously, over time, you would have a closed heart. Where Spirit says, first and foremost, have courage to act from a place of love instead of fear. Let your heart guide you. Now, that doesn't mean through running out and getting into another relationship. Spirit says it means by going into uncharted waters to evoke your curiosity, to discover new aspects of your life and life in general, to venture in with confidence. It's again, how do you know what you want, what you don't want? How do you know who you are today until you go out into the world and experience what it is that you would like? We don't really truly know until we experience. And Spirit saying, take the time out to rest and rejuvenate, but create time to tap into the higher self, spend time with yourself, as well as, discover, have great, time to tap into yourself, to have quiet time, to get that support from the God inside of you that's going to direct you, that's going to, like inspire you with ideas. It's again, that's how we also rest, rejuvenate, and Spirit says so that you can actually like envision a bright horizon, like when you're going out into the world and seeing new aspects of life, and then taking time also to reflect on those things and how they make you feel. Spirit says then you're able to like create a brighter horizon because you're creating a whole new way through new experiences. And that's what transformation is. You get to see a whole other reality. You embodied a whole other realities. That's why you're like, I don't really want to be with this person. I feel like if I'm with this person, this is you. If I feel like if I'm with this person, then just gonna come back into my life and you're going to like do the same thing. Like, because you didn't even think about me. It was such a simple thing, a simple ask, and you gave such a difficult time. You made it so hard that I feel like it just turned you off. That even though this person like has done the healing and it pushed them to do healing, you're like, oh, that's great for you. In this story, you're like, I'm not taking you back, because like I can't unsee or unfeel and see how horribly, and you were okay with it. Like I shouldn't even need to tell you how it's wrong. That's how wrong it is, and that's where where you're at. So we leave off with one more card, and that is everything turns to light. Like every situation is designed to bring you back to your creator. And the light is that God is light, love, right? So it's to work to improve yourself, embrace all that life brings you to transform the darkness into light. And that's what the universe did. That this person came into your life so that you can be like, do I want to be with a person that gives so little that I wind up reliving like my childhood, trauma? I was going to say drama, but it's trauma, with this person. Or can I experience a whole other reality? And Spirit says that you would want to create a whole other reality. You'd like to take the curtain number three, not curtain number one that has nothing but a zonk behind it. You want the whole shebang and shebang. Allow yourself to grow and become stronger, and you can do that once you venture into like the unknown. Go into the uncharted waters, learn about yourself, learn about what stirs up your soul, feed those places that do stir up your soul, and I guarantee God will make a way where there is no way just for you. It's a faith walk. You're not going to really know, and that's why you always are asked to be like a child, right? Because children go out and they play, they explore, they have fun. And when they go out and they have fun, well, guess what? A whole they meet friends, a whole other experience happens where they didn't go out with the intention of joining a softball team or joining a play or connecting with other children, but that's what happened. And it opened up a whole new experience. Well, we're asked to do that within our life, no matter how old we get. And Spirit says, someone suppressed you from doing that. So it may feel like it's wrong, or you might say, like, well, that seems like a waste of time. And Spirit says it's not a waste of time. It's like that second chakra is all about your unique individuality, who you perceive you are when you look in the mirror. And so we can go with the flow of life when we're balanced for life. And that's when we're in the passion for life. And that passion can't be a person. It actually has to be something that's going to connect you to God, connect you to humanity. And the way I say God is every single person has spirit inside of them. So when we give and receive of love through our free will, we're giving of ourselves through how we feel. So if you're an artist, you can again give it through your painting. If you're a dancer, you give it through dance. If you're a chef, you give it through chef. Whatever it is that you love to do, again, and that's what giving and receiving of love is. So you wouldn't even 100% know what you wanted to do career wise, or maybe you're happy with career, but nothing else in life. There would be an imbalance that's you're saying, once you go out into the world, there will not be any more imbalances because you find what it is that you're looking for inside of you. But it's those things that you interact with outside of you that evoke those things that are asleep inside of you that you don't remember. That you're like, oh, I like this feels like home. Oh, I like this. But Spirit saying that again is more like the spiritual energy and being like childlike that you're asking, that Spirit's asking you to do. So again, it's going to feel wrong or like, oh, that's silly or that's not. And Spirit says it's actually not. It's like because that's what carries you through because you don't have control over your environment or the next person that comes into your life or any person in your life. You only have control over you, but you can control a person through how you control yourself. And Spirit says, and you had not mastered that because you don't know all of yourself. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated. Don't forget to check out my Shadow Healing Coaching Program. $7.99 will get you inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting. All the healing modalities help you heal the effects of trauma. I see that some people have signed up. We have maybe 3 people. If you have not gotten a link, please reach out to me. Um, like I said, you can't beat it. $7.99. Come on. Like, it supports the channel, it helps support me. It's like, and it actually helps you. It's a win, 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 win. And that's what I believe. I believe in doing things that are in spiritual alignment for everyone involved. And so if you're someone that needs healing, this is a great place to start. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.